Hey guys, Tara here from Recovering Book Hoarder, and today's book haul. Oh, I just can't stop. Alright, so a few different things in this haul. So this will be my my May haul. And in this we have my book of the month. I did make a half price books moments of opportunity trip. I was already out there and it's just not close to me, so if I'm there then I go. But gotta be honest, I don't know if I'm going to be going back to half price books because I feel like they are just really overpriced anymore. So outside of like the summer clearance sale that they do where everything's $2, and I'm really hoping comes back this summer because obviously we didn't have it last year with COVID. I don't know that I'm going to be shopping there anymore. And then Book Outlet had a sale. God. It was, I have found so much that was on my wish list. It was 2 boxes. Yeah. And then I also have some new releases. And then just one I bought from Amazon because I saw somebody talk about it and it sounded so good. So, let's get started. All right, first, let's go ahead and go over the book of the month choices. So if you don't know what book of the month is, it is a monthly subscription. It is $14.99 each month, and for $14.99 you get a credit and 5 books to choose from. They are curated books, and I gotta say their curation is, overall, I have been so pleased with their curation of books. There are some months that I literally want every single one, and I have a really hard time choosing just one. Then you can also do up to 2 add-ons, which is $9.99. So a hardback book for $9.99, and there are usually pretty new releases still also. Yeah, you really can't beat it. I absolutely love Book of the Month. I do have a code down in the description that if you use it, I think you get your first book for $9.99, and I would get a credit for a free book as well. Okay, so my choice for this month was The Last Thing He Told Me by Laura Dave. Sounds like a mystery. So before Owen Michaels disappears, he manages to smuggle a note to his beloved wife of 1 year, protect her. Despite her confusion and fear, Hannah Hall knows exactly to whom the note refers. Owen's 16-year-old daughter, Bailey. Bailey, who lost her mother tragically as a child. Bailey, who wants absolutely nothing to do with her new stepmother. As Hannah's increasingly desperate calls to Owen go unanswered, as the FBI arrests Owen's boss and the U.S. Marshal and federal agents arrive at her Sausalito home unannounced, Hannah quickly realizes her husband isn't who he said he was. So, kind of like a family and marital drama kind of book, and I generally like those a lot. Okay, then I did get 2 add-ons this month. I got Good Company by Cynthia, Dupree, Sweeney. This is, I just realized, that one doesn't, but this one actually says what it is on the back. This one's contemporary fiction. It says a warm, inclusive new novel about the enduring bonds of marriage and friendship. Oh, and this is the author that wrote The Nest. Then the last one I got is The Push by Ashley Audrain, and on the back it says Thrills and Chills. So this is going to be a psychological thriller. Tense page-turning psychological drama about the making and breaking of a family and a woman whose experience of motherhood is nothing at all like what she hoped for and everything she feared. Okay, so those are my Book of the Month choices. All right, then let's do my new releases. Okay, so these are books that came out in May. I still have one more that I had pre-ordered that I'm waiting on, so that'll be in my June haul because that doesn't come out towards the end of the month. But the other ones, 5 of these were released this month, and then 1 was released just earlier this year. And I happened to see it whenever I was at Barnes & Noble last time with my daughter, and oh, it caught my eye. And I wanted it really bad, but it was definitely cheaper on Amazon than it was on Barnes & Noble. And that one is Not For You, Pearl Jam in the Present Tense by Ronan, Giovoni, and I am a child of the 90s. I love Pearl Jam. I'm gonna say Eddie Vedder aging very gracefully. And you know, anyone that's watched my channel for any length of time knows that I love music. I love the story behind the music, and I had to get it. It was a must buy when I saw it. All right, then the ones that were just released this month in May, got The Bookshop of Second Chances by Jackie Fraser. It says a woman desperate to turn a new page heads to the Scottish coast and finds herself locked in a battle of wills with an intriguingly aloof bookseller in this utterly heartwarming debut novel by Jackie Fraser. And Scotland, yes. Bookshop, yes. I mean, I don't see how it could possibly go wrong. Okay, then I have one that, very much anticipated, and that is Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. Andy Weir wrote The Martian, if you don't know. So this is sci-fi. The Martian is the book. I would say The Martian and Ready Player One are the two books that got me into sci-fi. Prior to these books, I didn't think I liked science fiction. Turns out I do. So this one, I did read a couple things that Andy Weir had put out about this book, and he said it's much more reminiscent of The Martian than his other novel, Artemis, was. So this one says, a lone astronaut, an impossible mission, an ally he never imagined. Ryland Grace is the sole survivor on a desperate last chance mission, and if he fails, humanity and Earth itself will perish. Except that right now he doesn't know that. He can't even remember his own name, let alone the nature of his assignment or how to complete it. All he knows is that he's been asleep for a very, very long time, and he's just been awakened to find himself millions of miles from home with nothing but 2 corpses for company. Okay, then, so that one was very anticipated, but that was not my most anticipated of the month. My most anticipated release of the month is Brat, an 80s story by Andrew McCarthy. I love all things 80s. Yes, I'm a child of the 90s, meaning like I grew up in, I graduated in 1999, so the majority of my coming of age occurred in the 90s, but I was born in 1981. I love the 80s. I love the Brat Pack. I love John Hughes movies. I love all of that wonderfulness. So when I found out that Andrew McCarthy was writing a book about his experience in the Brat Pack, so excited. So excited. So we got that one. Okay, then The Plot by Jean Hanif Korelitz. Jacob Finch Bonner was once a promising young novelist with a respectably published first book. Today, he's teaching in a third-rate MFA program and struggling to maintain what's left of his self-respect. He hasn't written, let alone published, anything decent in years. When Evan Parker, his most arrogant student, announces he doesn't need Jake's help because the plot of his book in progress is a sure thing, Jake is prepared to dismiss the boast as typical amateur narcissism, but then he hears the plot. So I'm going to read to you, but from what I understand, I believe from what I saw, the student, I think he dies, and so the professor takes the story as his own, and then things happen. Scary things, I think. All right, then this one I got, well, number one is written by Channing Tatum, and I love Channing Tatum, but I wanted to have a good book to read at my house for when my nieces came over, so this was released in May also, and that is the one and only Sparkella and Her Dad by Channing Tatum, illustrated by Kim Barnes, and look how cute. Yeah, so I think that my nieces are just going to absolutely love this. The illustrations are so cute. It would be so fast to read, but I'm not, because I'm going to read it for the first time with my niece. All right, so those are the new releases. Then the one that I picked up just because I saw somebody review it on BookTube and just gush about it, and I can't remember what her name is. I will link her down in the description box. But that is Circus of Stolen Dreams by Lorelei Savarin. And this is a middle grade, and it's a circus. And I love all things circuses, and that's not the only circus book I got this time. So, moving on to my half-price books haul, I found this book that I had never heard of, but again, circus, but this one's young adult, That is Freaks, Step Inside a Wondrously Strange New World by Amanda Hawking. And it's a circus. So I had to get it. I just love, one of my absolute hands down favorite tropes is circus books. Okay, then I got 3 other books there. I got The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath, Ordinary Grace by William Kent Krueger, and I believe this is the first in the series. Oh no, this is a standalone. And William Kent Krueger, I read my first William Kent Krueger at the beginning of this year. This Tenderland. Gosh, I've read 77 books so far this year. So, pretty sure it's This Tenderland is what it was called. And I loved that. So I really wanted to read some more from William Kent Krueger. And so whenever I saw this, grabbed that up. And then another one of my obsessions, this right here. I can't. Right there. Hamilton. So I found the Hamilton book. The Hamilton Affair, a novel by Elizabeth Cobbs. It says historic scholarship and creative music have suddenly turned Alexander Hamilton into one of the hottest of the nation's founding fathers. The Hamilton Affair promises to turn up the heat even further. Elizabeth Cobb's superb novel about the many lives and perils of Hamilton and his wife Eliza adds delights and insights that are as fascinating as they are fun. Think of it as a terrific and must-read companion to all things Hamilton. So, Hamilton. That's all I need to hear. All right, finally. The book outlet haul. This is where everything just came crashing down. Oh, so, like I said, there was a sale. And then so much of my wish list was on there. So let's see what we got. All right. First, A Visual History of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Forward by Tom Hanks. And again, like I said, child of the 80s. Who did not watch Mr. Rogers in the 80s? So not only did I watch Mr. Rogers, but I am also from Pittsburgh, and Mr. Rogers is also from Pittsburgh. So, I had to get it. I love Mr. Rogers. There's also, they have one of these too that's like Sesame Street. I've wanted like forever. Don't have it, but I think they put it out for Sesame Street's 50th anniversary, if I remember correctly. Maybe 25th. I don't know. It's out. I want it. Haven't gotten it yet. Okay, The Dreamers, a novel by Karen Thompson Walker. An ordinary town is transformed by a mysterious illness that triggers perpetual sleep in this mesmerizing novel from New York Times bestselling author of The Age of Miracles. Inferno, a memoir of motherhood and madness by Catherine Cho. And I think this is exactly what it sounds like. A gripping, unforgettable love story about new motherhood and identity and starting again after the unthinkable happens. So that would be nonfiction. Okay, then we got Greetings from Witness Protection by Jake Burt. And this is a middle grade. U.S. Marshals are looking for the perfect girl to join a mother, father, and son on the run from the nation's most notorious criminals. After all, the bad guys are searching for a family with one kid, not two, and adding a streetwise girl who knows a little something about hiding things may be just what the Marshals need. And I can't remember. I saw somebody talk about this on BookTube. I can't remember who it was, but they said it was good, and it sounds funny. Okay, then I found a couple poetry books. So I got Selected Poems by Gwendolyn Brooks, and I read a Gwendolyn Brooks poem. I think it was in the book Cast, if I remember correctly. I think it was in Cast. But man, she just sounds amazing, and her poetry sounds amazing. Gwendolyn Brooks is a Black woman, and I know that these poems are going to be from a very important point of view. Okay, then I got this poetry book, Swimming Lessons by Lily Reinhardt. All right, The Cutting Season by Attica Locke. And I have never read Attica Locke, but I can't remember. I don't remember where I heard about her. I watch way too much BookTube. Karen Gray manages Louisiana's stately Bellevue, an antebellum plantation turned tourist attraction where the past and the present coexist uneasily. Outside the gates, an ambitious corporation snaps up sugarcane fields from struggling families, replacing local employees with illegal laborers. Tensions mount when a female migrant worker is found in a shallow grave on the edge of the plantation property, her throat cut clean through. As the sheriff's department zeroes in on a suspect, Karen suspects the police are chasing the wrong leads. Putting herself at risk, she unearths startling secrets about the long-ago disappearance of a former slave that has unsettling ties to the current murder. Secrets that a desperate killer will stop at nothing to keep buried. Tauntingly resonant and beautifully written, The Cutting Season is a thoughtful meditation on how America reckons its past with its future. Sounds excellent. Please excuse the birds if you can hear them, because they are being really loud today. We have birds. They live in my basement. Right then, Shadows of Laden Brook Manor by Melanie Dobson, and this is a Christian fiction novel. Years ago, the body of Oliver Croft, heir of Lord Croft of Laden Brook Manor, was found drowned in the River Colne. Authorities searched for answers, but no one was ever held responsible for Oliver's death. We Came Here to Shine by Susie Orman Schnall. Maybe. I think that's how you say it. At the iconic 1939 New York World's Fair, two ambitious young women navigate a world of possibility and find out what they are truly made of. And I love, you guys are finding all kinds of things I love in this video. World Fair. World Fair stuff is right up my alley. All right, Wandering in Strange Lands, A Daughter of the Great Migration Reclaims Her Roots by Morgan Jerkins. From the acclaimed cultural critic and New York Times bestselling author of This Will Be My Undoing comes this powerful story of her journey to understand her northern and southern roots, the Great Migration and the displacement of Black people across America. So nonfiction. Then another nonfiction, and that is So You Want to Talk About Race by Stinking Stickers, man. I'll look on the side. Yeah, by Ijeoma Aluo. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, because I didn't know. That's her name right there. And this is exactly what it sounds like. Let's see. The author guides readers of all races through subjects ranging from intersectionality and affirmative action to model minorities in an attempt to make the seemingly impossible possible. Honest conversations about race and racism and how they affect almost every aspect of American life. All right, then we got The Book of V by Anna Solomon. A bold kaleidoscopic novel intertwining the lives of three women across 3 centuries as their stories of sex, power, and desire finally converge in the present day. Dave and Jane Green, The Friends We... did that backwards. The Friends We Keep by Jane Green. And I had forgotten about Jane Green. I was really, really into her books for quite a while. Like reading one after another. And then she just like fell off my radar for some reason. And I recently started following her on Instagram. And I'm like, hey, I really like Jane Green. And I never read a bad book by her. Maybe I should see what she's written lately. So, found a new Jane Green book. The Friends We Keep is about how, despite disappointments we've had or mistakes we've made, it's never too late to find a place to call home. Her books, they always just keep me... I just want to turn the next page. Like, they're page turners. So good. Her characters are always really, really good, too. Okay, The New Husband by DJ Palmer. Just because you love someone doesn't mean you know them. The Other Westmore by Westmore. One Name, Two Fates. Chilling truth is that his story could have been mine. The tragedy is that my story could have been his. And heard about this during one of the chats that Crystal was having over at during her Patreon bestie phone calls, I think is when we were talking about it. And more than one person brought up this novel and how absolutely phenomenal it was. So luckily landed that one. Just realized I got myself another large print book. Y'all know how much I love that. Definitely did not say that because I made a really, really big point of making sure when I read through all the descriptions that they did not say large print. yet here we are. The Lying Room by Nikki French. And April over at Getting Hoggle With It just adores Nikki French. And I think it's a husband-wife writing duo. I've not read anything by them yet, but I now own 2 books by them. All right, then last is Psychology, Westworld Psychology. Edited by Travis Langley and Wind Goodfriend. And Westworld, one of my husband and I's favorite shows. And I think I showed you guys, when did I show you guys? In my shelf spotlight, I have Westworld and philosophy. It's a bunch of philosophy essays. Well, this one all focuses on psychology. And I'm here for it. So that's it. That was a lot. Yeah. What do you guys think? If you read any of these, if you get book of the month, I would love to know what your choices were for this month. And if you picked up any add-ons. Have you read any of these? If so, I would love to hear what you think, what you thought of them. If you would like to see more from me, don't forget to subscribe. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you would like to interact with me on other platforms, I've got everywhere you can find me on the interwebs down in the description box. All right, guys, I will catch up with you later. Bye.